Tales from Azeroth. As always here at the Pig and Whistle in Stormwind, I go through a variety of subjects with regards to World of Warcraft. So grab a bottle or a pint, sit back and enjoy. Today's subject, we're going to be going over the Last Covenant specific structure, which is the Necrolord Covenant, and that is called Abomination Stitching. I do have to apologise in advance if you hear any sort of cuts within the podcast. That is me taking a drink because I've I've basically bit my tongue off. It feels like that anyway. I bit my tongue and it hurts. That's what the little slur was about at the start. But I will try my best to power through. I'm sure I will be fine. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So what is Abomination Stitching? Now, it's a special feature of the Necrolord Covenant, and it's a profession-based minigame that allows you to help a selection of souls obtain a body within the Shadowlands. You'll use special materials to create constructs for these souls. In return for giving them a form, they'll become your companions, and they will assist you in their adventures, your adventures around the Shadowlands, and offer you special perks and items whilst doing so. So Abomination Stitching is a fairly open-ended sanctum upgrade, and there isn't too much to it, so it might be a bit shorter than, say, Queen's Conservatory or the two main ones that I think, which are the Ember Court and the Path of Ascension. But we'll go into as much detail as we can with it. And like the Path of Ascension, you'll be gathering materials and using them materials on your Abomination Stitching table. So just a few little things that you can get, a few little Covenant rewards for doing it. So the Abomination Stitching obviously unlocks some Necrolord Covenant armor and weapon sets. You can dress up your constructs with fashionable items such as wings and a couple other things, hats and stuff like that. And you can get certain unique mounts from the Abomination Stitching. And these unique mounts are Bonesawn Flesh Rock, Bonesoon Flesh Rock, Chosen, oh my lord, what are these damn names? Chosen Teralis, yeah, we'll go with that. Armored Chosen Teralis, I've got to stick with it. And a companion called Muddud. Moodud? Not Mud. It could be Mudud, but you know, the apostrophes before the first D in that, so it's Moodud. So, unlocking and upgrading the Covenant Sanctum. So, to get started, obviously you'll have to purchase the first tier of the Abomination Sanctum, and you can later upgrade it with the anima that you've gained throughout the Shadowlands and the Redeemed Souls. So, like every other Covenant-specific upgrade, it is 1,500 anima and 6 souls, and it takes 1 hour to unlock. And what this does, the first tier, it basically unlocks access to the Abomination Stitching. Nice and simple. That is literally the description it gives. It'll give you the bare bones, you know, but the bare bones, you know, because it's Maldraxxus. Okay, I'll stop. But it'll give you a rundown of basically how everything works within the Abomination Stitching. Tier 2 is called Crafting Limbs, and it's 5,000 anima, 12 lost souls, 12 hours to unlock. And what this does, it adds more constructs that you can create, as well as a battle pet and a construct disguise to Abomination Stitching crafting. Now, again, you get a few little perks with this. You get a nice little battle pet with it, more constructs, therefore more uniqueness to have as a sort of guide around the Shadowlands, as it were. Tier 3, Bring Them to Life, is what it's called. Costs 10,000 anima, 22 souls, and it is 1 day, 24 hours to unlock. And what this does, it gains access to call upon Emeni as a bodyguard. It also adds some more constructs that you can create. So I'm not too sure about Emeni? I want to say it's Emeni. Yeah, it's the same thing. I think it is literally just that they have, like, kind of like in Legion, where you had a certain amount of followers, and some followers could become like bodyguards and just followed you throughout the world, helping you with killing mobs, doing world quests, that kind of thing. Now, tier 4 is called Forged Friends, is 12,500 anima, 40 souls, and again, 24 hours to unlock. And what this does, it has 2 more powerful constructs are available to create, and you also gain access to a bag of treats that allows you to summon Twiggin to assist you in the Shadowlands. Now, these names are ridiculous, to be honest, but Twiggin is a beast. I'm pretty sure it's a little flying beast, and he'll assist you in the Shadowlands in any way that he can. Now, tier 5 is Best Friends Forever. It is 15,000 anima, 70 lost souls, and 24 hours, 1 day to unlock. What this does, it allows the soul-fused constructs join you at your stitch yard, and you'll be able to craft a actual mount from this called the Bonesoon Flesh Rock. So you literally just get a kind of a guaranteed mount out of it because you can just build one. But moving on, like sort of making parts. So it's because it's a crafting type upgrade, you obviously have to make your parts. It's kind of a profession. You get that sort of a window up for it. I just bit my tongue. That really isn't going to be good. It really feels, fat, my tongue at the moment. So apologies if you do hear anything within the podcast itself. But the main feature of the Abomination stitching is the crafting system. And there's 2 special materials within this crafting system. And these are malleable flesh and superior parts. One is uncommon, which is the flesh, and a rare quality is the superior parts. So malleable flesh is obtained from nearly any creature in the Shadowlands, pretty much. It can also be obtained as a reward for doing the Abomination stitching quests, and it's used in almost everything like to do with it, like the crafting. Now, superior parts are only obtained from doing weekly quests given by your constructs, like the ones that give you quests at your stitch yard, and these parts are commonly used in the Abomination stitching crafting for like crucial reagents for crafting, better constructs and more constructs. As you create more and expand the stitch yard, you'll get more and more quests, so you'll get more sources for your superior parts to get that in pretty much, and sort of have enough mats to continuously build these constructs. So using the Abomination stitching table, there are many things you can craft with these materials: combat items, cosmetics for you and your constructs actually, and many more. The major thing that you'll initially use these materials for, however, is to create bodies for the souls at your stitch yard. Now, souls at your stitch yard will ask you to give them a body, and you use the materials such as the superior parts and malleable flesh to do so. And when you do that, they become a permanent NPC at your stitch yard that specialises in something. So a bodyguard, an innkeeper, a vendor, and these NPCs will then provide you with a weekly quest that rewards you with reputation with the Stitch Masters as well as the superior parts mats. So you have many different things that you can craft. So you have the basic constructs, specialized constructs, consumables, components, specialty items, fashion accessories, and these accessories include head, shoulders, back, and others. So others are sort of really out of the blue cosmetic things. But all of these require either malleable parts and reusable parts. Or no, not reusable, superior parts, sorry. And some actually even require Shadowlands materials, such as, I'm pretty sure ore is required in some of these. I'm pretty sure there'll be some leather maybe, stuff like that. So, quests and activities that you get with the Abomination stitching. The main gameplay around the stitch yard is completing the quest to obtain more materials, to build more constructs, and you gain access to more quests. It's sort of I've got these quests to get these materials, I build this thing to get more quests next week, etc. You'll visit and talk to all of the constructs you've created at the Stitch Yard and help them with what they need. Often they'll accompany you on your quest. Most of them are pretty helpful, like in their own unique way. These quests you will complete are weekly, and so you'll run out of quests and don't have any more superior parts to craft anything. You've got to wait until the next week to do so. So obviously by completing these quests you will get your reputation and your superior parts, and this process obviously will accelerate as you create more constructs. You'll get more of these parts to create more and more constructs every week. And outside quests, like outside of these quests, you'll need to farm the malleable flesh, and once again this can drop from almost anything in the world. One of your constructs called Chordy can help you find extra materials as you travel, so you can definitely utilize him if you're running low on these malleable flesh materials. So the rewards that you can get from the Abomination stitching, and it offers many rewards such as pets and mounts, etc. And they're all primarily earned through gathering the materials and crafting constructs at the stitching table, but some can also be earned through achievements. So like this one here called The Gang's All Here. When you've created every construct possible and given them a home at your Stitch Yard, as it were, you'll be rewarded with this achievement, and it will give you the mount, the chosen, how did I say this earlier? Taralus? You know, that one. Beyond that, once you've sort of created every construct, completed every quest they have to offer, and you've done sort of a ton of your crafting, you'll earn the achievement Things to Do When You're Dead, which will reward you with the like chosen Turles. I'm pretty sure it's called that. You know, that sort of thing. So there's many different things to do even after you've created all of these constructs. And like, there's not just you've created them all, now you just got to wait. You can earn all of these mounts through the achievements, through crafting, etc. Now, there are some reputation vendor rewards, so there is still a use for doing them weekly quests. And the items that you can purchase from these vendors will cost you some anima. So you've got some small things, such as like pets that cost 1,000 anima. Like, you've got loads of different pets. You've got a couple of the mounts that you can buy for just 5,000 anima straight. You've got your weapons, your weapon transmogs that you can buy for 30,000 anima, might I add, which is insane, just absolutely insane. And you can also buy these chests and satchels and stuff from the other covenants, and they'll all have different weapon types. So you can buy something called like Ascended Chest of Arms, which will cost you 1,000 anima, and it contains weapons from Bastion, like Bastion transmog weapons for your class. So that's quite cool. You can always have a sort of lottery and go at that if you just want to, you know, throw a little bit of anima at it. Now, the Abomination Stitching unique collectibles, they offer unique items, and these can only be obtained through the Abomination Stitching, and no other sort of Covenant minigame will reward these. So these are the like weapon transmogs, which I mentioned, that cost 30,000 anima. You obviously have the mount that you can craft for 50 malleable flesh and 5 superior parts, and you can only sort of craft this at its max tier, and obviously once you've made every sort of construct. You have Moodud, who is your like pet, the little sort of abomination pet that you have. You have your other mount, the Turalis, the two Turalises, sorry. You have stuff that can, or not stuff that can, sorry, I'm mixing up my words here. You have your like Covenant specific transmog set that you can buy, or sorry, that you can craft through 500 malleable flesh. You have your sort of second armor, or all of these different armor sets that you can use that all cost 500 malleable flesh, but you've just got to make sure that you actually make the right one and not say like the hunter and shaman like set only when you're playing a mage. It doesn't really work that way, does it? You're not going to get the set out of it, and you're going to ruin or waste the materials. So obviously, like all of the other covenants, they share rewards such as the Night Fae, the Vemfir and the Kyrian Path of Ascension, the Ember Court and the Conservatory. You've got all the different mounts, the Pale Acid Maw, like always, Gruesome Flayedwing, Silver-Tipped Draggedwing, and the Dauntless Duskrunner. Again, all of these are from every Covenant minigame, like I just mentioned above. Plus you've got all of the other weapon transmogs for them Covenants. But that is kind of not the bare bones. That is as like in depth as you can go with the stitching abomination stitching. Got it the wrong way around, obviously. That is as in depth as it goes. You sort of make your abominations and you have them throughout the Shadowlands. You can pick and choose who you want. You sort of build your own little community within your mini game almost. So you've got your vendor, you've got your innkeeper, which I find quite entertaining. You know, you're actually building stuff. You're giving these souls that have been put into Maldraxxus a body so that they can express themselves. You can even customize them a little bit. It is basically like having a bodyguard in Legion, but you can do a little bit more with it, such as customizing, putting top hats on them. You can have one that, I know this for a fact, you can have one where you use him as a mount. You literally ride on his shoulders. It's a giant abomination called Flytrap or something. So very convenient if you just want to hop on, start running, quite fun. And it's just sort of, you know, you can play around with it a little. Say you just want some more materials, you get your little chordy guy out. So there's a lot of things that you can do with it. But it isn't as in-depth as the Ember Court or the Path of Ascension in my eyes. Definitely, if I was to rank sort of the Covenant mini-games, I'd definitely put the Ember Court up in first place, followed by probably the Path of Ascension, close second, very close second. I'd put Abomination Stitching above Queen's Conservatory. The Queen's Conservatory is very nice, very tranquil, very easy, very chilled. But this seems like it's a lot more involved. You know, you're building your guys. You can customize who you have, like going into the Shadowlands, doing your world quests and stuff. So there's a bit more activity to it, and you get to see. But the Queen's Conservatory doesn't really pick up until tier 5, when you get your like last seed. So I'd definitely recommend the Abomination, or I'd definitely put the Stitching at 3rd and the Queen's Conservatory at 4th. Even though I love Night Fae, I literally main a Night Fae character myself. It's just, you know, these are a lot more involved in their mini games. I hope they do something with the mini games, like all of them. They give them a little bit of a boost, like in the next coming patches. We'll have to see, but only time will tell with that. Again, thank you all very much for listening. Oh my god, I just slurred, like had a slur there. Just can't, my tongue isn't allowing it today. I really do appreciate the fact that you have so many options available to you, but you keep coming back for more Pig and Whistle Tales. It would really help the podcast out if you'd be kind enough to rate and comment on whatever platform you're listening to, as it helps spread the word and finds new listeners to enjoy the free shows. It would also be great if you hopped over to our Facebook pages and Twitter pages, where you can follow posts covering all sorts of WoW like tips, anything in general pretty much regarding World of Warcraft. And all of these links can be found at the Pig and Whistle website at www.pigandwhistletales.com. Thank you all very much for listening once again, and go with Valor, friend. Goodbye all.